Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and it's another Wee Wednesday today. We're going to take a look at this little knife by SanRenMu. It's got a sort of fish little logo motif on it on one side, sort of a dog tag shape knife. It's actually a multi-tool. You've got a blade, a little penknife on one side, and a cap lifter, pry bar, flat screwdriver type tool on the other side. Cool little kind of keychain dog tag type tool. If you're interested at all in something like this, stick around. I was going to review a different knife today. This knife. This is the 6144, I think. No, 6044. But GearBest only has 2 of those left, and I like to have more than that available to my subscribers and viewers so that you can buy them. So once they've restocked their stock of these knives, I'm going to do a full review on this wee knife. It's a cool little Tanto that I'm quite highly recommending, but 2 of you might get lucky and get one of these today. But the rest of you guys, you'll wait until I do a full review. Well, you can keep checking for it, of course, anytime you want, or buy it anywhere else. Today, we're going to look at this other SanRenMu. It's a cool little dog tag. I'm kind of liking it. I like this fish design on here. You can see how reflective that is. You can see, there's my camera, that black thing you can see in the picture. Very, very shiny. You can see that fish on there. Kind of funky, almost a Western style graphic, the way it's drawn. You know, how that cartoony, the line work and stuff. I think it's kind of cool, to be honest with you. I'm assuming it's a shark. Not just a fish, like not just any old fish, because you've got that dorsal fin there, and check out those teeth in that mouth. What you've got is a dog tag here that's about 2 inches long, which is 5 centimeters, and it's 1 1/8 inches wide, which is 2.8 centimeters. The type of steel that is used is a steel that SanRenMu has used on several other knives, not on very many. Like on this 4073, I still have not done my review on this knife. It'll be on a Wee Wednesday coming up. This knife, likewise, has 415N stainless steel, 415N. I don't know much about that at all. You've got 3 pins construction, 2 pins down here that are the pivot points for the multi-tools, and then 1 pin up here by the hole, which holds it together. And on the back here, you see SanRenMu 3119 SUE-SR. There's 2 other models. There's the -SP, which has the same kind of flame anodization on it. So you can see how the edge is blue here. So the anodization is the same type of thing on the SP, except for the main area is blue, and the edges are more of that coppery golden kind of color. And then they've got the SC, the SUE-SC, which is just sort of a satin steel kind of color. And there's less than 10 of each of these 3 different color patterns at gearbest.com right now. So, if you want one of these cool little guys, head on over there. Check the links in the description below. If you look down below the video, some people are having a tough time finding this. Look for the top comment, and just above the top comment, you'll see in uppercase letters, all capitals, "Show More." It's just light gray, but it's right, halfway across the screen underneath the video. And you click on that, you'll get to the video description, and in there you've got the links and everything to go and get your own one of these, or find the rest of the info that I usually share. I usually share a fair bit of info in the description section. Let's talk about the specs of the different parts of this knife. First, the blade. Sort of a typical penknife kind of blade, full flat grind. The cutting edge is 1 3/16 inches. So from the tip of this choil right here all the way to the tip of the blade. You've got 1 3/16, which is 3 centimeters exactly. It's a knife that, it's got a bit of a belly there. Typical kind of small pen knife in terms of how well it cuts and things. Let's give it a little try right here. Ooh, knocking the camera around. It's just regular copy paper. Regular push kind of cut. It cuts just fine. Nail nick on there to open it. And just push to close it. This one's got quite a bit of friction on it, so you got to be careful that you don't end up with your thumb right here when you go to close it, because once it does let go, it might want to close on your thumb. So keep your hand back behind. There's so much real estate here to put your hand on that you could easily hold it and close it without risking your hand at all. Sometimes on a lot of tiny knives, you sort of have to risk your thumb or your finger when you go to close the knife. That's one of the big pluses on this thing. It's easy to do very safely. The other side, you've got a cap lifter, bottle opener, whatever you want to call that, and then that sort of prying tool flat driver. And that's pretty much the whole knife. Slip joint all around. I like to use these little split rings. I buy them in bulk. I bought them. The cheapest place to get these in bulk was Amazon, I think, that I found these at. Just look for split ring and look for all kinds of different sizes. 7, 8, 9, 10 millimeters. What else is there to say about this knife other than it's only $5.71 US? It's about $7.50 Canadian at GearBest. One of my fellow reviewers, Nash Rathburn, he's got a channel out of the UK. He reviewed this little guy. I'm not sure if it was the exact same color, but the same knife, the 3119. And that kind of inspired me to do my review of it as well. I think it's worth, taking a look at. I'm one of those guys, I tend to carry one of these really small knives on my keychain, and sometimes just in the bottom of my pocket. And I, use it for all kinds of simple, basic EDC tasks, especially when I'm in an environment where people might be more concerned about knives. This one especially is not going to cause any fear in anybody. It kind of looks too unique. It's kind of shiny. It does draw a little bit of attention to itself, but in a positive way. It's a knife that's, you can do probably 85% of your EDC tasks with something this size. It might be a little less comfortable to do than some of the other, the same tasks with something else. But, it can do things like if you got to cut a piece of paracord, you can cut a piece of paracord. Let me just get a good hold of it. Oh, I keep hitting the camera because my space between this tabletop and my lens here is about 3 inches. Not much room to work. So it's a small little knife that, it works for all kinds of little tasks of cutting. The tip is nice and pointed so that you can, I'll give you a really close-up shot of that. So you can do a lot of little digging into things and slicing, pulling out a sliver or whatever. And it doesn't have any jimping around anywhere. All the edges are nicely rounded, so it's not going to do any damage in your pocket. If you've got the blade closed and this thing's sitting in your cell phone pocket, chances are I don't think it's going to scratch up your cell phone unless one of these pins here it gets a burr on it or something, a bit of an edge. That's the only thing that might, negatively influence other products that you might be carrying. It's a good knife. I recommend it. It's cool. It's fun. It looks neat. It's light, easy to carry. Bottom of your pocket, on the lanyard, in your keychain. It almost looks good enough to be man jewelry. I don't know. I don't wear man jewelry. So here you go. That's the knife, and that's all I need to say about it. If you like this video, please click on like. If you know somebody who's interested in tiny knives like this, click on share and share it with them. If you're not yet a subscriber, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe. That helps out the channel in a lot of ways that are significant. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.